This incredible story will shock you. I didn't think my wife could do such a thing. So to the story. I, 32M, have been married to my wife, Emily, 29F, for 4 years. We met in college, had the classic whirlwind romance, and got married a year after graduation. She works as a receptionist at a law firm, and I work as a waiter at a nice restaurant in the city. It's not glamorous, but I enjoy it. Good tips, decent hours, and I don't bring stress home. Lately, though, things have felt off. Emily has always been a little high maintenance, but I chalked it up to her just liking nice things. She's always had big aspirations, wants to be surrounded by successful people, live in a fancy house, drive a luxury car. I thought we were happy, even if we weren't rolling in cash. But then, little things started piling up. She's been making comments, subtle at first, joking about how she deserves a husband in a suit and tie, how it's cute that I still work in food service at my age. I laughed it off at first, but then she started getting weird about introducing me to her colleagues. Like, avoiding it at all costs. The few times I did meet them, I got the vibe that they already had some preconceived notions about me. The real gut punch, though? A few weeks ago, she made a comment about how I should start thinking bigger and actually contribute to our future. As if I've just been coasting this whole time. I asked her what she meant, and she just waved it off with, "Oh, don't be so sensitive." I didn't think much of it then, but I should have. I should have seen where this was going. Alright, so here's where things took a turn. A couple of weeks ago, Emily had this big company event. One of those after-work mixer things where everyone pretends to like each other while drinking overpriced cocktails. She told me about it in passing, but she made it clear that I wasn't invited. Not in a "plus ones aren't allowed" way, but more in a "you wouldn't fit in their way." She said it was just work talk, and would be super boring for me. I didn't think much of it at the time. I had a late shift at night anyway, so whatever. But then, a few days later, I got home early and found her sitting on the couch, scrolling through her laptop. I leaned over to give her a kiss, and she slammed it shut so fast she nearly broke the hinge. Now, I'm not normally a snoop, but something about that reaction was off. Later that night, when she went to take a shower, curiosity got the best of me. I opened her laptop, and since she's never been great with passwords, I got in easily. I wasn't even looking for anything shady, just wanted to see if maybe she was planning a surprise or something. Instead, I found an email thread between her and some coworker named Mark. The subject? About last night. And let me tell you, what I read made my stomach drop. Alright, so I open the email, and right away, my stomach is in my throat. The first thing I see is a message from Mark, this guy I've never even heard of before. It starts off normal enough, something about how last night was fun, and how it was great hearing her thoughts. But then he writes, "Don't worry, I won't say anything about what you told us. Honestly, I get it. I wouldn't want people knowing either." Excuse me? What she told him? Wouldn't want people knowing what? I scroll down, and there it is. A full-on, detailed rant from my wife about me. She went on and on about how she's embarrassed that her husband is a waiter. How she never thought she'd still be with someone who makes his living taking orders like a teenager. She actually wrote, "It's exhausting pretending to be proud of him when people ask what he does." She even straight up lied and said I had no ambition and was just wasting potential by refusing to get a real job. Never mind the fact that I've always said I'm happy where I am, that I like my job, and that it lets us live comfortably. She made me sound like some kind of loser with no drive. But the part that made me feel like I'd been punched in the gut? She told them she was keeping her options open, that she didn't see herself doing this forever, and that she sometimes felt like she deserved more. And these weren't just thoughts she was sharing in private. She was telling her coworkers this. People she sees every day. People who now look at me like I'm some kind of pathetic charity case she's stuck with. I just sat there, staring at the screen, feeling like an idiot. Like my whole marriage had been a joke, and I was the punchline. So at this point I'm shaking. My ears are ringing, my face is hot, and my hands are literally trembling on the keyboard. I don't even know what to do with myself. Do I wait? Do I pretend I didn't see it? Do I pack my things and leave right now? I don't know what came over me, but instead of overthinking, I just snapped. I grabbed her laptop, stormed into the bathroom, and swung the door open. She jumped like she'd seen a ghost. "Jesus, what the hell?" she yelled, pulling her towel tighter around her. I didn't even care. I held up the laptop. "You want to explain this?" For a split second, I saw it in her face, pure panic. But then, as if flipping a switch, she rolled her eyes. "Oh my God, are you seriously snooping through my emails? That's disgusting, my name." I actually laughed. "Yeah. You know what else is disgusting? Trash-talking your husband to your coworkers and telling them you're keeping your options open." Now, here's where it gets insane. She doesn't even deny it. She just shrugs. "Look, I was venting. It's not a big deal." Not a big deal. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "So you're telling people you're embarrassed of me, lying about who I am as a person, and basically shopping around for a better option, and I'm supposed to just be cool with that?" And then, I kid you not, she laughs. Like full-on scoffs at me. "You're being dramatic. You know I love you. It's just, I don't know, sometimes I get frustrated. You're comfortable, but I don't want to be comfortable forever." I stared at her, trying to process. "So you'd rather be with someone who wears a suit than someone who actually loves you?" She groaned and rubbed her temples like I was the problem. "No, you're twisting my words. I need to be around people who are going places." I couldn't even look at her. I turned around, walked out, and left her standing there in the bathroom, probably expecting me to get over it. So, after that absolute disaster of a confrontation, I didn't even sleep in our bedroom that night. I crashed on the couch, staring at the ceiling, trying to figure out how the hell my life had turned into this. The next morning, she comes into the living room like nothing happened. No apology, no guilt, just a casual, "Are you still mad?" Like I was throwing some childish tantrum. I ignored her. I wasn't in the mood for another round of gaslighting. But then my phone buzzed. It was a text from her coworker, Mark. "Hey man, I don't want to get in the middle of anything, but I just wanted to say I don't think Emily meant what she said at the meeting. It was just office gossip. Don't take it too seriously." Wait. The meeting? I texted back. What meeting? He left me on read. Now I'm pissed. I turned to Emily. What meeting was Mark talking about? And this woman has the audacity to go pale, hesitate for a second, and then hit me with the worst possible lie. Oh, I don't know. Maybe he meant a different Emily? A different Emily. I just stared at her. Do you think I'm stupid? She let out this exasperated sigh like I was annoying her by catching her in her own bullshit. Fine. We had a team meeting after the mixer, and it just came up, okay? People were asking about you, and I might have, I don't know, exaggerated some things. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. Again, I grabbed my keys. I needed air. I needed out. And as I was walking out the door, she hit me with the final nail in the coffin. Oh my God, don't be such a child. No one even cares about this as much as you do. I walked out, slammed the door behind me, and drove off without a plan. I just needed to be anywhere but there. So I'm driving around, trying to clear my head, but my mind is spinning. I keep replaying everything, her emails, the gaslighting, the way she made me feel like I was the crazy one for caring that my own wife was trashing me behind my back. But then, I remember something. If she talked about me in that meeting, who else was there to hear it? I wasn't about to go crawling back to Mark for answers. Clearly, he didn't want to be in the middle of this mess. But then I remembered Jessica, one of Emily's coworkers I'd met at a holiday party last year. She seemed nice enough. More importantly, she didn't seem like the type to cover for Emily's lies. I took a gamble and messaged her. "Hey Jessica, I know this is random, but I heard something was said about me at that team meeting after the mixer. I just want to know the truth." A few minutes later, she replied, and what she told me made my blood run cold. Jessica: "Hey, I don't want to stir things up, but yeah, Emily said some things that honestly shocked me. She kind of went off about how she's outgrown you, and how she's just waiting for the right moment to upgrade to someone on her level. She also said she'd been testing the waters with other people just to see what her options are. I felt bad for you, TBH. Testing the waters? I felt like I was going to throw up. Not only was she embarrassed of me, not only was she trashing me behind my back, but she was actively lining up my replacement while still sleeping in my bed. I sat there in my car, gripping the steering wheel so hard my knuckles turned white. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just sat there, completely numb. And that's when it hit me. I was done. I sat in my car for a long time, just staring out the windshield, feeling like an idiot. This wasn't just a rough patch or a misunderstanding. My wife, the woman I thought had my back, was actively shopping for a new man while treating me like a placeholder. And you know what? Screw that. I wasn't about to sit around and let her decide when it was the right time to drop me. I was going to make that decision for her. So I drove home. Walked in like I wasn't on the verge of blowing up. Emily was on the couch, scrolling through her phone, acting like nothing had happened. She barely looked up. "Are you done being dramatic?" Oh, I was done, all right. I tossed my keys on the table. Jessica told me everything. That got her attention. Her head snapped up, her face going pale. "What?" "Yeah, about how you've outgrown me, how you're testing the waters, how you're basically lining up your next relationship like I'm some expired coupon about to run out." Silence. Absolute silence. Then, in classic Emily fashion, instead of owning up to it, she tried to flip it on me. "Wait, so now you're spying on me and my friends? Jesus, do you even hear yourself?" I laughed. Actually laughed. "Spying? No, Emily. I just did what you clearly weren't expecting. I found out the truth." She sat there, stunned, her mouth opening and closing like a fish. And then she hit me with the worst excuse I've ever heard in my life. "It's not like I actually cheated, okay?" Oh, so that's the bar now? "So you admit it then," I said. "You admit you've been trying to replace me." And instead of denying it, she just sighed. Like I was exhausting her. "I mean, come on. You had to know this wasn't forever." Forever. That word hit me harder than anything else she'd said. I wasn't her husband. I was a phase she was waiting to grow out of. I stood there for a second, letting it all sink in. Then I nodded, grabbed my jacket, and walked toward the bedroom. "Where are you going?" she asked, her voice actually sounding nervous for the first time. I didn't even look at her. "Packing." So, I head to the bedroom, grab a duffel bag, and start throwing my stuff into it. I'm not even thinking at this point. I'm just running on autopilot. The second I start zipping up my bag, I hear her footsteps storming in behind me. "Wait." Wait, you're seriously leaving? I don't answer. I just keep packing. And then, this woman, who just 10 minutes ago was acting like she had outgrown me, completely loses it. No, you don't get to do this. You don't get to just walk away. Oh, I don't. I finally turned to face her. Emily, you literally said you were keeping your options open. What do you want me to do? Stick around until you find someone better? And then, she pulls the craziest move yet. She starts crying. Like, actual tears. I didn't mean it like that, she sobs. I was just venting. I was frustrated. I thought we were in a rut. That doesn't mean I don't love you. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Oh, now you love me. I scoff. Funny, because 5 minutes ago, I was just some comfortable loser holding you back. She grabs my arm, her nails digging into my skin. We can fix this. You're overreacting. I yank my arm away. No, Emily. I'm finally reacting. Something I should have done a long time ago. Now she's full on sobbing. You're being cruel. I shake my head. No, Emily. You were cruel. I'm just done. And with that, I zip up my bag, sling it over my shoulder, and walk out of the bedroom. She follows me all the way to the door, screaming now. You're gonna regret this. You're gonna realize you'll never find anyone better than me. I don't even flinch. I open the door, step outside, and for the first time in a long time, I feel something I haven't felt in ages. Relief. So, I walk out that door, feeling free for the first time in years. I don't know where I'm going yet, but I know I'm never coming back to that apartment. I crash at my buddy Jake's place. He's been my best friend since college, and when I tell him the whole story, he just whistles. Dude, she really thought she could juggle you and a backup plan at the same time? Yep. And she thought you'd be the one to stick around and wait for her to decide? Apparently. Jake just shakes his head. Man, that's wild. And then, it gets wilder. Over the next 24 hours, Emily goes into full damage control mode. She blows up my phone. Texts, missed calls, voicemails. At first, she's playing nice. I know we both said things we didn't mean. Let's just take a breath and talk. I love you. You know I love you. You don't throw away 4 years over one bad conversation. Then, when I don't respond, the switch flips. So you're really just gonna ghost me? Wow. Pathetic. Running away won't change anything. You'll come crawling back. I hope you enjoy your sad little waiter life alone. But the real kicker? That night, Jake and I are hanging out when he suddenly laughs out loud. She just posted on Instagram. Oh, I already know it's gonna be some next-level delusion. And sure enough, it's a photo of us. From our wedding. The caption? When you realize you almost let the love of your life slip away, fighting for what matters. What? I'm sitting there, stunned. This woman, who was literally calling me an embarrassment days ago, is now out here trying to make it look like I'm the one coming back to her. Jake is wheezing. Dude, this is straight up PR damage control. I just shake my head. She's insane. I don't respond. I don't reach out. I just sit back and watch as her entire plan falls apart. At this point, I've completely ignored Emily for 2 full days. No texts, no calls, no reaction to her weird Instagram stunt. And let me tell you, she does not handle it well. Day 3? She goes nuclear. First, I wake up to a long-ass email from her. I'm talking essay length, formatted like she's submitting it for a college final. It starts off sounding all heartfelt. I know I hurt you, but you have to understand where I was coming from. I never actually wanted to leave you. I was just confused. I was venting to my coworkers, not trying to humiliate you. Blah, blah, blah. A whole lot of excuses, zero actual apology. Then, she tries to flip the script. If you really love me, you wouldn't just abandon me like this. What does it say about you that you'd rather throw it all away than work through things? People are starting to ask what happened. Do you really want them to think you just ran off? Oh, yes. Classic guilt trip mixed with social pressure. Like I'm supposed to be afraid of what her coworkers think after she spent months trashing me to them. I delete the email without replying. Then, she calls my mom. Yeah, my actual mother. I get a text from my mom later that day. Hey, sweetheart, Emily called me. She says she's really sorry and just wants to talk. You don't have to, but maybe hear her out? Oh, hell no. I immediately call my mom and explain everything, the emails, the lies, the way she was literally lining up her next relationship while still with me. My mom, bless her heart, just sighs. Oh, honey. I had a feeling something was off with her. Then she says the best thing ever. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. She made her choices. Now she gets to live with them. Boom. Done. Not falling for her manipulations. The final straw? That night, Jake and I are at a bar, just unwinding, when I get a text from a random number. It's from one of Emily's coworkers. Hey man, I thought you should know. Emily's been telling people that you cheated and that's why you left. I nearly spit out my drink. Jake bursts out laughing. She's really out here rewriting history, huh? And that's when I knew she was truly desperate. She couldn't manipulate me, so now she was trying to control the narrative. But you know what? I didn't even care anymore. Let her dig her own grave. So, after all the drama, I just kept my distance from Emily. I wasn't about to get sucked back into her lies and manipulation, no matter how hard she tried to pull me back in. I'd seen her true colors, and there was no way I was going to stick around while she tore me down for her own selfish reasons. A few weeks passed, and Emily's antics got more ridiculous. She kept texting, calling, and trying to pull every emotional trick in the book. She even tried to reach out to some of our mutual friends, turning on the waterworks, trying to make me look like the villain. But honestly, I was beyond caring. What hit me hardest was how she tried to rewrite everything. She told people I was the one who cheated, the one who'd abandoned her. Like I was the bad guy for finally walking away after years of being belittled and disrespected. But her story didn't hold up. Not when people saw the truth, the emails, the conversations, the way she had treated me. Word spread fast. One day, I got a text from Mark, the same coworker who had been in those emails. He apologized for being involved in the mess, and honestly, I appreciated that. But the real kicker? He told me that Emily had started dating someone new. She'd already found her. Upgrade. It wasn't even a month after we'd split. I just shook my head. The whole thing was so messed up, but at least I was done with her. I was done with the lies, the manipulation, and the emotional games. I wasn't going to let her control my story anymore. A few months after everything went down, I started to get my life back in order. I picked up some extra shifts, saved up a little more, and even started looking into things I'd been putting off, like taking some cooking classes, maybe thinking about my future in a new direction. For the first time in a long while, I felt like I was in control again. And then, out of the blue, I got a text from Emily. Can we talk? I've been thinking a lot about everything and I miss you. I couldn't help but laugh. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. She was still out there trying to manipulate the situation, but I wasn't her project anymore. I had my own path to follow now, one that didn't include her toxic influence. And honestly, I was just glad to be free.